If there is one match that should get us stoked about the Djokovic and Murray partnership, Doha 2017 is a solid contender, and it might give us some insight into what Novak thinks he can learn from his new coach. I've got 4 strategy lessons from this match that will help you win more matches. Lesson 1. Build for neutral court position. Watch this opening exchange, tactic 1-1-4-4-4. Novak serves wide and Murray hits this down the line return, making Novak run for the first ball. So Novak hits it cross to Murray's backhand, and Murray in turn plays his backhand cross too. As a result, both players are able to reach a fairly neutral point in this rally. The early attempts to attack with the serve and the return have been neutralized, but both players see this as a small win because they get to a fairly neutral point in the rally. In a lot of amateur matches, getting to this point and surviving the chaos of the serve and return is half of the battle. Once neutralized, both players are able to use their various skills to try and win the point, and we see a good rally. But remember, this point all started because both players were able to reach neutral ground. Try to prioritize that in your own points. Lesson 2. The cross-court defense. This point opens with tactic 2-6-4-3-3. Murray is returning. Djokovic serves wide on the ad side, and Murray hits a great return deep cross court. From here, Novak plays a backhand to the ad side, but kind of towards the middle of the court, and Murray does the same thing. Again, they reach a pretty neutral position. From here, Novak hits some great shots and makes Murray cover a lot of ground. And each time Novak pressures Andy's movement, Andy plays cross. This is a simple lesson, but if you're in a defensive position or you're off balance at all, play cross until you get a better opportunity. This maximizes the space of the court you have to hit into and reduces your likelihood of making an error. Lesson 3. Don't be afraid of attacking with your backhand. This point starts with tactic 2-1-8-4-4. Murray returning again. Djokovic serves wide on the deuce side and gets a short return out of Murray. However, Novak is a little bit late getting up to this ball, so he just slices it deep cross court. Murray also hits his first ball deep cross court, and they end up in this backhand to backhand rally. Are we noticing a pattern yet? Sometimes amateur players think that if the ball comes to the backhand, they're stuck just playing defense. But notice how Murray doesn't just use his backhand to defend. These guys rally on the backhand side pretty neutrally. Then Djokovic tries to disrupt the rhythm by hitting a slice. Murray sees this shot coming in and changes direction with his forehand, hitting to the open court. This makes Novak run. In an effort to neutralize the point again, Novak tries to target Murray's backhand. But Murray sees that he has a long line into the open court. So he takes his backhand and rips it cross court for a high percentage winner. Once he had Djokovic on the deuce side of the court, Murray treated his backhand much more like a sword than a shield. Understanding when to flip the switch all comes down to position. Lesson 4. The power of changing directions second. It's often easy to see the advantage of being the first player to change direction of the ball. But there are also significant advantages if you are the second player to change direction. Look at this point. Murray is returning, and this point starts with tactic 2-6-3-1-1. Djokovic serves wide on the ad side, and Murray returns deep cross court. Novak changes direction and hits to the deuce corner, and Murray runs over and plays this cross, emphasizing depth. Now Novak did make Murray run with his first ball, but Murray was able to get there, and now he has the opportunity to hit a shot where the long line of the court and the open court are in the same spot. When you aim your ball to follow the longest line of the court, you can hit a bit harder, you can land it a bit deeper, and you can push your opponent back without taking as much risk as if you had tried to do the same thing hitting down the line. And this is even better if your opponent has to run to get there. Now Novak does run this down, he gets there and he plays it cross, but he's on defense and he puts a little more air under this ball. And this is a green light for Murray now to change direction and drive the ball line. The key distinction here is that Novak changed direction while the rally was fairly neutral. Djokovic's serve didn't quite set up the ball he thought it would. Either his serve needed to be more aggressive and get a shorter ball from Murray, or his first ball needed to stretch him a bit more. But either way, Djokovic did not pressure Andy enough with his opening tactic. Now Andy, on the other hand, waited to change direction until Djokovic was in a clearly defensive position. These are more great observations to bring into your amateur game. Knowing when to attack and when to defend is half the battle. So what does all this mean? There are some simple lessons to learn from watching the Djokovic and Murray matchup in Doha. Watching this video, and maybe my shorts where I break down even more tactical highlights from this match, you'll see a pattern emerge of points starting with backhand to backhand rallies. You'll also see a pattern of problem solving and winning points by creating opportunities to attack, not always just once, but multiple times in order to finish one point. As we look toward the Australian Open, this all points to Novak Djokovic solving for how to beat one man, Jannik Sinner. You can bet Novak is coming in hot, ready to get revenge for losing his coveted Australian Open title last year. More to come on this matchup. But I think teaming up with Murray is a clear indicator of what strategic elements Novak thinks are going to be a big deal in this match. This isn't the last time I'll be breaking down the Djokovic and Murray partnership, or the Djokovic and Sinner matchup. I have a feeling we're going to see a big match here in Australia. That is, as long as Sinner can play. If you want to learn more tennis tactics, I'll be dropping a ton of free content here on YouTube. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe to my channel, maybe ring the bell. I'll be dropping video lessons from my tactics library at least once a week, and you don't want to miss it. And if you want even more tennis tactics, head on over to my website, tennistactics.com, and sign up for my newsletter to stay in touch. Until then, hit your targets. We'll talk soon.